Hey everyone, Matt here. It is Wednesday. That is the main event time where we go over our main topics for the week. So if you're watching or listening, this is the meat and potatoes of the episode. If we happen to have any news to discuss as well, that's where we'll talk about it here. For the full episode, check us out on Saturdays. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined this week by RJ from Do You Take Cards? RJ, how are you today?
I'm well. I put together a new mesh network over the holiday weekend. So I now actually have a router in my office that my laptop is directly connected to through the hub. So I am blazing fast speed. Well, 600 down, or 600. But for me, that is blazing fast speed in the country.
600 down is nothing to sneeze at. Awesome to hear. We're joined as always by Lani from the Call Me Lani YouTube channel. Lani, how are you today? And no, I'm not going to reference today's members only video.
Feeling good, looking great. I would like to send an early happy birthday to RJ. And so, everyone, happy early birthday, RJ.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Happy early birthday, RJ. And finally joined by Tariq from the Rick's Rewards YouTube channel, which should be starting next week, as that is mid-December, as we learned in last week's rant. That's when we should expect something. Tariq, how are you?
I'm good, but honestly, pretty tired. Holiday weekend was good, had 4 days off, but as an accountant, came back to work on the first business day of the month, so I had to go do end of month stuff. So working lunch, tired, and then also this is going to be a busy week because not only is it RJ's birthday coming up, it's my lovely player two's birthday. So I got plans for that as well. So bear with me this week and today. God only knows how I'm going to be like towards the end of recording.
And everybody stay tuned because we're going to raffle off Tariq doing your taxes for January.
I am not a certified public accountant. I have no fiduciary responsibility for any of y'all's tax returns. Do with that as you wish. I am not going to be, I'm going to go ghost if the IRS calls you for an audit because I have nothing to do with it.
I didn't say it was for you. You could give it to somebody you don't like and have them do it.
Sure, we could maybe make that a Patreon level or something at some point. Yeah, so there we go. We're going to move to our topics section of the video and see what we can do here. Lani, your topic of the week.
Wow, I wasn't expecting to go first. That's all right, though. I'm ready. So, you've heard me say this before. I call it team take the trip. I'm a huge advocate of this because it's like you need to just not worry about the math so much as what you're going to get out of the experience itself. So I've had a lot of trips over the last like 90 days ish. We'll call it since August. Some for myself, some for my family. And I will say, even my son has gotten real spoiled with some of these luxury properties that we have stayed at. My wife included as well. But my son even understands the difference between like, yo, this is bougie. Most of these properties that I've stayed at are outside of like my plan A strategy. So not all of them have been IHG. I have stayed at some intercontinentals recently. Not necessarily booked with Miles. I've booked with Chase to Ed. I've booked with FHR. Stayed at 2 different Waldorfs recently. I've stayed at JW Marriott recently. And that's all context for some of the things that I'm still planning for trips in 2025. Now, Matt and I recently talked about this, that I actually have to go to Orlando twice next year. And one of them, when I'm there, I want to stay at the Evermore Resort, maybe even the Conrad at the Evermore. Brand new, beautiful lagoon property, super luxurious. My wife, on the other hand, is kind of obsessed with Singapore at the moment, wants to stay at Marina Bay Sands. Now, the reason why I bring this up, So take Conrad out of it, but the Evermore, that part of the resort, the actual resort part, you can't use points. Marina Bay Sands, you technically they don't have a point system or transferable system. Yes, you can use Chase. Don't come at me in the comments. I know you can. La 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 la. Let's keep it moving. But they don't have those types of things. So now, if there are these luxury options for the experience on Take the Trip, like I mentioned, take Chase out of it. What would you do? What does Take the Trip mean to you now? Like, what would you do in those types of scenarios? If that was what you wanted, in this case, what she wanted, or what I specifically wanted, would you go out of the way to pay cash, or another way of like pay cash, pay yourself back, whatever you're saying? Even though I'm sitting on a pile of points, like I could just stay somewhere else. Do you still just pay the cash for Team Take the Trip and that experience? Or do you just say, I don't want to take that money out of pocket. You know what? We'll wait until they get bought out by like Hilton or something, and then I'll renegotiate a trip for that. Do you still do it or do you not? Tariq, if you calm down enough, you want to go first?
Promise I won't blow up again. Honestly, Take the Trip just means to me, if you have the means to do the trip that you want to do, whether it's cash or points, do it. I feel like for a lot of people that aren't into the points and miles game, they just have like a travel fund, assuming that they're fiscally responsible and plan it out and budget it out. So they're going to have a pile of cash ready for whatever trip it may be. So, at that point, points don't matter. Obviously for a lot of people like us and everyone else in the community, we kind of shift more towards points redemptions because we'd rather use the money elsewhere, myself included. But at the same time, there are experiences that, points can't be redeemed for, but they're still worth it. I think, like my best friend, probably a couple months ago, he's not into the points game. He bought one of those, I think it was like a United package, I almost want to say, or like one of those vacation packages, got a flight, stayed at the Margaritaville Resort in Cancun. I don't know, Margaritaville has a points ecosystem. Obviously, I'm being facetious. So I would do a cash resort there because he loved it. He had like a swim up. It was like a swim up room, and he was able to go straight to like, the river to the bar. That'd be something I want to experience. I want to go to Cancun. And if it means that I don't do points, cool. I mean, if anything, I can just do like one of those packages like you mentioned, Lani, and then earn points on the back end, or do pay yourself back. But for me, if I had the means, take the trip. Besides, not everything on your trip can be redeemed in points. I'm going to Vegas in the summer. RJ, you and I follow women's basketball. WNBA just dropped their schedule releases. The weekend that I am in Las Vegas, the Aces are at home playing the Seattle Storm. I'm not going to redeem points to buy tickets for that game. I'm paying cash. Now, granted, I'll probably use my saver or whatever, or maybe if Cap or Chase has like a 5X entertainment, but regardless, I'm going to pay cash to watch my favorite WNBA basketball team, who I have not watched since they were in San Antonio back when I was like in high school, maybe even middle school. I'm also thinking about going to Arlington to go watch the Dallas Wings play the Chicago Sky because I like Angel Reese. Those aren't point redeemable things. Yeah, I may use points to go there, but that IHG package thing that I did was $200. I didn't redeem points for that. I went to go visit my girlfriend's family for the weekend after Thanksgiving. Booked a 2-night stay at a Holiday Inn. I didn't use points for that. I just paid cash. So, long story short, if I have the means to take the trip, whether it's points, cash, not going to go into debt. But if I can afford to take the trip, even if it's just cash, I'm taking the trip because the experience is going to be worth more than the mental gymnastics or the stress or headache of trying to figure out a way to redeem the points.
Appreciate that, Tariq. Appreciate that. Matt, what would you do in that type of scenario?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to say I'm not someone who wouldn't advocate spending cash, because I'm the guy who starts his redemptions with JetBlue by using points to pay for a regular economy seat and then paying in cash to get into the even more space seats. So if the experience that you want to do requires you to do cash, do the cash. Like, I'm sure you're going to exhaust, like, for these particular resorts, like, I'm sure you're looking at FHR and the edit. If they're in there, you're going to go through those. Like, if it requires cash to do it, all right, but you're going to get points on the back end for it. With American Express, you're going to get, if you go through the platinum, it's what, 5 times points on that. And if you go through the edit, it's 3 times points in the edit. If it's in Chase Travel, it would be 10 times points on Chase Travel. Like, I know that a lot of folks in the game want to do as close to free or as close to just points only as possible. That's not always going to happen. So in the event that, like, it is pay cash or don't do the trip, do the trip. Like, that's the experience that you want to do the trip. um you know all sorts of ways to do the trip and not pay cash. I know that your ethos tends to be, and I'm speaking directly to you, but I know a lot of folks also have this ethos of, like, if I can't do it in points only, or, like, travel has to pay for itself, like, there are other ways that you can make that travel pay for itself. Now, I'm not going to advocate to you directly, Lani, to, like, go get the Chase Aeroplan card and give yourself the ability to pay back at 1.25 cents per point through the end of next year, and then transfer a whole bunch of Chase points over to Aeroplans so that you can get yourself like a 1.625 cent per point buff. But as Dugras has mentioned, that is a way you can do that, right? I also want to
That was
highlight,
very specific for not talking to me, by the way.
that's fair. Fair. But also, like, Sledge from Sledge Inc. team has mentioned, like, there's cash is going to come up along the way, right? Like, when you take the trip, your food, you're not paying for food on points. You're not paying for souvenirs on points. You're not paying for other portions of the experience on points. Now, the points that you're going to generate by paying for those things are going to fund the next vacation, probably. But, if you want to do something, like, give yourself the opportunity to pay the cash. You're going to generate the points. You're going to do that point cycle that I kind of highlighted earlier. um and if it's going to make the trips that much more meaningful, that's more valuable at the end of the day. So if you got to do cash, do cash. If you're earning and burn. Specifically to you, a number of ways that you could probably make this work by using a mix of cash and points. Use the cash if you gotta.
Cool. RJ, what are your thoughts?
You want your wife to be happy, right? Because I know a great way to make your wife real happy is to do what she wants to do. Just a little tip. No, but, like, here's the thing. The entire trip is not going to be cash because you're sitting on all of the United miles ever created in the history of the world, right? So, like, your flights will be covered under that, right? Like, or at least heavily subsidized under that, right? Like there are a lot of things that you're going to do that can be on points if the hotel isn't, right? So there are still a lot of ways to modify that travel. I also think, and this is a personal thing, I know, intelligent people can disagree. I don't think even if you're in the game heavily, all of your travel should always be reward travel, because I think that is very limiting to what is possible for vacations. Like, there are just some hotels that we might want to stay at that don't have any sort of rewards currency whatsoever. There's Four Seasons, I know, is sort of the gold standard at the top end, but there are other ones that also have it where you can't. Doesn't matter how many points you have, you cannot. There's hacks around it with travel portals and whatever, but that's not really what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think cash should be. I use cash stays all of the time for my weekends that are like $200 hotel stays, because why would I use 40,000 points on a $200 hotel stay? That makes no sense. I could just pay cash, get those points to use later for something that is a better value. So even if it's a multi-thousand-dollar week-long, really, really nice hotel stay, I don't think that's a problem, even if you're not, quote, getting points back in your typical earning fashion, because you've got a kid, you've got a wife. Even if it's just you and your wife, you two are going to remember that trip longer than you're going to remember that you didn't get any, quote, get any points on it. You're going to value the time with your significant other in a way that points cannot keep you warm at night. Like, yes, you can lay in bed and think about how great it is to have all these points, but like those moments with your significant other, or those moments with your friends when you're going on a trip, or your kid, or whoever you're traveling with, are so much more valuable than any amount of points will ever be or could ever be, or what confidence you get from having $30,000 of one currency or 50,000 of another, or whatever you have, right? So I think points don't mean anything until you use them. Trips don't matter until you take them. So I am always, if it's financially responsible, always take the trip, always have those moments. If you can cover it in points, cool. If points don't work out, also cool. I think we get too wrapped up in the minutia and we limit ourselves sometimes in ways that are unhealthy.
Thanks, you all. I think you hit the nail on the head. And yes, RJ, one of those is the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. Gonna have to just bite the bullet. Or like I said, you can actually use Chase points now. They just got added into the Chase travel portal. Going back to why it's so important. I'm gonna go ahead and retire my mic and move on to the next host and their questions.
1.5 cent floor. 1.5 cent per floor. Tariq, your topic of the week.
Okay, so over the last week, my strategy on my credit card game plan kind of took a halt. I got an elevated offer on the United Explorer card. I wanted to jump on it. I wanted to strike while the iron was hot. And I actually applied. It was actually literally a week ago after recording. I applied. It was in review. Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember. Got a denial. Tried call recon, didn't work. So one of the cards that I really wanted for not only the sign-up bonus, but also check bag, United Club passes, and the 25% boost on Mileage Plus X, I can't get for the foreseeable future. Don't know how long, but it's going to figure it out. So my question, because of that, it brought up the fact that I may or may not need to tweak or make an adjustment to the game plan that I have for my points/travel experience. So I wanted to ask, if any of y'all have been in this situation where you wanted to apply for a car that you were planning to apply for and got denied, did that cause you to make an adjustment to your game plan? And if it did, what change, or how did you go about making that adjustment or change? And I'm going to start with RJ on this because she's been my pseudo voice of reason while I have been going clinically insane.
And I will be on this, I promise. I promise this will not be me egging you on. Um, First off, I think it's important to understand why you want the card. Forget the sign-up bonus, right? Sign-up bonuses come and go. They go higher, they go lower. Forget the sign-up bonus, right? Free check bags. That's great. You may save 50 or $100 a trip. It is not a make or break situation, right? Like that is not a situation, and this is not one I'm talking specifically to your situation, but think about anybody out there listening. Think about the benefits of whatever card you did not get, right? Free checked bags. Yes, it's a nicety. Buy first class if you want free checked bags. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if it's the free checked bag is that important, just buy a class that gives it to you, right? Like, there are ways around that one, right? Or you just pay for the bags. Yes, the mileage plus X boost is nice. You have like 50,000 miles that you've gotten without flying on Chase. I think you'll be okay for 6 months to a year. I think it'll be okay, right? Like, and I mean that, genuinely. Like, you have figured out a way to use this app without completely losing your mind, just mostly, that works for you, right? Like, you know how to use this app. Yes, the 25% boost is nice. Yes, it would help you. No, it's not a make or break for 6 months of your life that you can't do a 25% boost, right? So I think what it comes down to is we all hate the feeling of rejection. We all hate the feeling of, oh, I've hit a ceiling I didn't know was there. I cannot get an Amex card right now. Not a single Amex card that I can apply for that they will give to me because I have tapped out my number of credit card slots that Amex has deemed me. It's between 4 and 6, which everybody but Sledge has on Earth, except for him and probably like Jeff Bezos or somebody. And I have all of the charge cards I want. So there's nothing Amex can give me right now, or I can get from Amex right now. So I understand this feeling, right? Like, I know what this feels like. But ultimately, you have to take a look at, okay, I really wanted a sign-up bonus. Well, you're not getting it. So use the cards you have, spend on those cards, generate points and miles from those cards, give yourself some time to garden, which puts age on those accounts, which allows you to get more mature in your approach, which honestly allows you to take a look at what categories you have covered and what categories you don't have covered, which may change your strategy to begin with that way. Like, instead of looking at it as your in time out, as it is a penalty, look at it as, oh, I get 6 months where I can see if this setup that I have worked on for X number of months or years actually works. Because this is the first time you've actually been able to stop, take a breath, and see if your strategy works. And your strategy is only as good as how it works. If your strategy is constantly just like ink churning, if you're one of those people who has a thick enough profile and can get an ink a quarter, your strategy doesn't matter. Your strategy is points now, but you also have an income that allows that to happen. You also have a thick credit profile. I helped my grandmother with her Experian the other day. She has a 49-year credit history. Like, the only thing that'll get you there is time, right? Like, the only thing that will get you certain things in your credit profile, Tariq, is time. Like, unfortunately, that is part of the game. And you are in a situation where you got to garden for 6 months. Guess what? You get 6 months of figuring out if your setup works. You get 6 months of figuring out if those benefits on that card would make a manageable difference in your life. And other than the 25% boost on mileage plus X, I don't think so. And yes, 25% is nice, but it's not the end of your particular world. You're going to be okay. You have to get over the rejection. Yes, it sucks, but these banks don't care about us. They do not care about our feelings. All they care about is numbers on spreadsheets we will never see. And do we pay our bills on time? And if we don't pay our bills on time, are we still profitable based on the interest that we do pay? That's all they care about. So I'm sorry. I know Chase rejecting you hurts. I know you not having a United Club hurts. Me not having a Hilton card hurts me a little bit. I feel it. Trust me, I do. But it will be okay. You will be okay. You just have to get over that constant feeling of that serotonin by getting a new card and getting a sign up bonus and rushing through it. You got yourself that serotonin overdose. Now it's time to wean off of it. And you'll be okay. And you will be in a better place 6 months from now than you are right now. I promise you, it will be okay.
Damn it, I didn't need the therapy session. But honestly, the other than the benefits of the check bag, also the priority check-in, priority boarding, I get it. I can pay for it, but trying to make the most out of little money as I can. I mean, I'm an accountant, for crying out loud. Aside from that, yeah, I get it. I got a huge hit. I think the biggest thing for me on that was I went, a few months, I think, when I get that Hyatt card.
You did not go very long, sir.
Look, I went longer than like 2 months. All right. It's the longest I've gone without a sub since I got the Sapphire Preferred.
You're not helping yourself with the whole addict mentality, so I would stop with the digging.
Anyway, aside from that, I get it. I know I'll be okay. I think my thought process, mileage plus X aside, my points aside, is I'm going to be flying, trying to, do this flight with points because I'm flying for 2. And I want to make sure that I don't hit a roadblock on that. Yeah, I could do points in cash, but I feel like I guess I've invested so much in the United States. If I want to just do cash, I should just would have bought the Southwest gift cards from Costco. So that's just me. Aside from that, I get it. I understand. I know I'll be all right. So it is what it is. Matt, what do your take? What do you think on if you applied for a card, got denied? Did it cause you to either reassess your game plan, make any changes, or you were just like, screw it, move on to the next thing?
So I applied for the Chase in Cash late last year, late in 2023, because they were the in cash and the ink unlimited were both running 99,000. Well, 90,000 point offers. And I had just gotten the 90,000 points on the ink unlimited, and I thought I could be cute and get the in cash and get another 90,000 points. Chase kind of stopped me on my tracks and said, nope. And so the only recourse I really had was just time. It wasn't a Chase marketing concern. It was, I had just gotten the welcome offer on the ink unlimited. The way that I was reporting my business structure was not going to be conducive to wanting them to letting them underwrite another credit card. So they stopped me in my tracks. Nothing I could do there. I tried the reconsideration line. I tried all sorts of ways to get the card. I just wasn't allowed the card. No big deal. I came back with a different business structure a number of months later. I let things cool off. I'd also built up my business credit by getting the JetBlue business card in the interim, getting the Wells Fargo Signify Cash in the interim. And when I applied for the Chase in Cash again, I was approved. I was just approved with their lowest possible limit. So then I had to move some things around. But, it's a roadblock. It can be a roadblock. It can be a blip. Just like as long as you have you're going to be fine, right? You're going to be fine, and this isn't about you specifically. Like when that denial happens, it does mess with your plan a little bit, but take a step back, kind of reassess why you're trying to get the card. Is there another means to get the card that is not necessarily you having to get the card? If you're in a multiplayer setup or a multiplayer strategy, there are ways around things. Like I recently saw the JetBlue 80,000 point welcome offer. I myself didn't want to apply for the JetBlue Plus card. My partner has applied for and gotten approved for the JetBlue Plus card, so they're going to work on that welcome offer. Spend isn't going to be an issue. That's another 80,000 points into the point pool. Cool. We still are going to get benefits with either that card or the JetBlue business card that I have. So like we're still going to get good value from the program.
It's just, you can take a step back and look outside of the box. You don't have to do everything if you're in a multiplayer setup. Like, there are times where you'll strategically have to involve that second person if they're willing to be involved and you have like their consent and they're okay with applying for the card. I'll put it that way. For me, my roadblocks, like, I've had stuff that have been bumps in the road. Was it time? Was it, just okay, there's nothing else I can do. I've got plenty of cards, I've got plenty of value. I'm good. So, you do have to kind of adjust on the fly, but when you make that card application, like, just have you don't have to sketch out plan B, plan C, plan D, but at least know, okay, if I don't get plan A, there's still plan B I can do in the interim. Like, just flying by the seat of your pants on some things isn't going to help, and giving yourself that ability to take that step back, reassess, see what you have to do, because if one issuer is going to deny you based on, if it's too many inquiries, there are other issuers who are going to have that as the same thing. So you have to take that into account. Like, you have to take into account the reasons for the rejection and look at the application rules for other companies. There are some companies that will extend you credit no matter what, depending on where you are with how many cards you have with them. American Express. There are some issuers that will take issue with the number of hard inquiries that you have. Not even the number of cards that you've been approved for. The number of inquiries will be an issue to them. Citi is one of those. You know, yes, the game plan hurts, but if you didn't need the card, or if you need the card and you're not able to get it, look at some other ways if you're in a multi-person setup. If you don't need the card, take a step back, chill, and when the time comes, like, give yourself 3 months, give yourself 6 months, whatever you have to do until you need the card, let things air out. Like, there's ways to kind of game plan. Like, you yourself getting rejected sucks, but if you have other ways to approach the game again with everybody on board, there are other ways to still hit the end objective. And I'll just leave it there.
Thank God for mileage plus pooling. That's all I'm going to say on that. Lani, your final philosophical take on my. I'll just keep it a bug on my ego shot. Like, my ego being just shot down, because that's what it is.
Well, I can definitely tell that you're hurt. And I'm going to use a lot less words on this answer because RJ and Matt had already said a lot. And the first thing I'll say is I don't really got any empathy. I've never been rejected for a card, so you're kind of alone on this island. I'm just playing.
That's just
anyway,
rough.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, like I said, Matt and RJ already had some very, very, very detailed and great answers. And at the end of the day, dude, you're going to be okay. But the one thing I wouldn't recommend is going out and just looking for a rebound card. Like, if you and your girl went and broke up, you're not just going to go out to the club or wherever you go down there in Texas. I don't know. I don't go to clubs, but meet me at the library. I don't know. But and then just go find, the next thing and just be like, all right, this puts a Band-Aid on it. Now I feel so much better. You're not going to do that. And don't do that with your credit card either. So I understand, like, built card could fit for you. But at the same time, if you have planned out your strategy and this United card is in there, you need it in there, or else you need a whole new strategy, then take the time to figure out how to get it in there. And if you just got rejected because you applied for too many cards because you got the itch, the answer is not, you know what, until I apply again, I'm just going to apply for other cards. Like, you're just putting a hat on a hat at the, after that. You're going to be in the exact same position when you actually want it. And you know what? It might take some time. But if I were in your position and that was the card that I needed, that was the card that I wanted, and that was going to be a staple, a foundational card for me, I wouldn't even look at another card because until I got that one out of the way. And I say that because we've had this conversation about my Chase Sapphire Reserve. I'm like, I'll never cancel it because in a very similar situation to you, I had put so much value on my Chase Sapphire Reserve that could I product change it down and then reapply for it in 60 days and get another sign up bonus? Yeah, probably. But you know, Chase has her 524. I got a lot of cards out there. I'm not going to say I applied for as many as you did in the last like 6 to 12 months, but what happens if I like downgrade it and then I can't get it back? Like, that's going to be detrimental to my, like, I don't know what my tomorrow will look like. My built card just like took over like in that 1.25%. Like, that's how bad, not saying built's bad, but that's how bad I would be. And so in your case, you'll be fine. Now, the thing, other aspect of it is plan B. You know how I feel about plan Bs. You got to have an exit strategy. You got to be able to pivot. You want the United card for two things: miles and some of those perks. You want a free check bag. You want to have that pre-boarding. You want, you know, other than the lounge, which you can just pay $59 for and just buy it, but whatever. Like, you could take this time, use the cards that you have, by the way. You don't need any more. Use the ones that you have. You could use their shopping portal. I know you use the MPX app. I know you use it. And you could just stack up as many United points as possible and just buy front of bus and get all those perks that the Explorer card's going to give you anyway. You'll be in group one. They'll still give you a free check bag. You don't have to worry about anything. Like I said, at the end of the day, the only difference would be you're not going to get TSA and global entry off of that card, but I know you got another card that gives it to you anyway. And you're not going to get the 2 United Club passes, but that's $118. Just buy it, dude. I know you got a card and that much space on it. Just if it really meant that much to you, and this is the trip that you want to impress your girl, impress her with the front of the bus. Straight up. Impress her with the navy blue seats. And you can get enough miles that would be that sign-up bonus in the next 6 months. And I know that you can because you know I could do it. So I know you can do it. And you spending way more than I am. You know? So you'll be all right. But don't go off on a bender because you got rejected. All right, don't go off on another bender because you got rejected. Take your time, let it simmer a little bit, put the lid on it, chill, regroup, come back and like, you know, kick it in the shins when you get approved in a couple of months. And also use my referral link.
Lesson learned. The reason why I got denied was because I didn't use Lani's referral link. I bet if I did use his link, I probably would have got the approval. Yeah, I get it. It was a blow to my ego. I think it was the first time I got denied for a card in like 2 to 3 years. I was on a hot streak, and well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I go to Vegas in like 6 months. Probably not a good idea for me using the terms hot streak. But aside from that, yeah, I know I'll be all right. It's kind of a toss-up between the United Business and the United Explorer, basically the same card, just personal versus business. But yeah, I'll give it some time. I'll be straight. And I have already just decided to use and abuse my IHG Premier. As a matter of fact, I put my Sapphire Preferred in the sock drawer in lieu of the IHG Premier because I'm starting to just rack up my IHG points. plus stack it with mileage plus X, I'll be straight. And then I'll just look at my Hyatt card with a little disgust and disappointment, and then just use those $50 statement credits because I figured it's the only other thing I'm going to get out of the card. Because God, that was a stupid decision.
I would also recommend shifting all your cards over to the United Dining program as well. One, because you just mentioned Vegas, and it's almost, and I'm speaking out of experience again. As long as you're not eating in a Vegas like hotel resort, it's probably in the United Dining program. I kid you not. Every time I go to Vegas and don't eat at on property, like by the time I'm like headed to the airport, I just look at my account and it's like, man, got 60 miles here, 400 miles here, just from restaurants I had absolutely no idea. So yeah, I would recommend shift all that over. And like I said, you know I've done it. You can get the miles for that sub through all of United's tools and resources without the card and just buy front of bus. So you're gonna end up getting there anyway.
Yeah, I think the only card that I don't have on the United Dining is my IHG Premier because I wanted more IHG points. And yeah, literally, jokes aside, I had some of those my points bonus hit like before recording. And as we were doing our pre-show, I redeemed for like another 5K United miles. So I know I'll be okay. I just really want the cards. But I get it. That's probably the id. That's probably my id speaking. So that is a holy grail. Well, not like that is like not my like white rabbit. I think I'm using that term right. Hell if I know. But like
White whale.
probably white whale. White rabbit's
Unicorn.
probably something that probably is gonna piss off the algorithm.
Yep.
But no, that one is also on there. But I think I might just say screw the sign up bonus and really take some time to, move some limits around and go for that card in lieu of the Explorer. Because I can just say, screw the one check bag, I get 2 check bags. Screw the 2 club passes, I just get unlimited club passes. So, like, yeah, did I want all the United miles? Yeah, but I can just
Welcome
say
offers come and go. When you go again, it may be elevated. Just keep your options open, and don't worry too much. So we're going to conclude Tariq's therapy session with RJ's topic.
So we talk a lot about the Chase Sapphire Preferred at $95 annual fee, and Matt has called it a $95 crap card before. I believe that was even an episode title. So I wondered, what is the quote best card with an annual fee between $1 and $99? Because I didn't want to include no annual fee cards. I think that's too wide of a pool. So I wanted to include sort of the some annual fee, right? I took a look at a couple of options. You have the Strata Premier, then you've got to deal with Citi. Literally the only option for Amex is the Blue Cash Preferred because everything is $0 annual fee or over $100 annual fee, except for that one card, and that's $95, so it's not that much cheaper. Chase Sapphire Preferred, Alaska Airlines Visa, the United Explorer, which we've talked about a lot tonight, the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey, the Choice Privileges Select, the Capital One Venture, or the Venture Rewards, excuse me. I'm going to save my answer for last, but I want to see what you guys think. Matt, what is the, and we're sort of taking ecosystem out, but ecosystem can factor in sort of as each person wants, because I think we each look at it a little differently. So Matt, what is the best card between a $1 and a $99 annual fee?
I'm going to cop out, and I'm going to go with the co-brand card. I'm going to go with the IHG Premier. The earnings on that card are nice and easy. Lani, Tariq, I apologize for stealing what is probably going to be y'all's answer. The card is very well balanced in what it gives you in terms of credits. It is overpowered in terms of your earning capability for IHG. It gives you IHG, I want to say platinum. It is a strong card, and you can do very well with it. $99 annual, yeah, $99 annual fee. You're going to get TSA pre-check global entry on that card. You're going to get 26 times points at IHG properties. You're going to get a base of 3 times IHG points across the board. You're going to get those elevated point earning with their categories. I'm blanking on them at the moment. I don't have the card fully memorized, but also IHG and Chase just extended their partnership another 11 years, so that card can only get better in time as IHG is going to make more of a focus getting their credit cards more more lucrative to their business. So the IHG Premier card is a great value at $99. And I am sorry, Lani and Tariq, for stealing that card, even though because I went first.
All right. Not the card I'm thinking about, so that's interesting. Tariq, you can't take Matt's answer. What is your answer?
Dang, I can't even go with the business route because it's technically a different card. Dang. All right. Well, damn. I was hoping that I would go before Lani so I could pull that, but Matt pulled it before me. So, all right. Well, I will say for me, my other choice would be the Wells Fargo autograph journey. And I say that for a lot of for the people who are okay with doing a lot more cash stays, cash bookings, you can put it on the autograph journey. You're getting 5x on hotels, 4x on airlines, and then 3x on restaurants and other general travel. So if you're just somebody that doesn't care to redeem points or do like points plays, and you want to just stay at a JW Marriott because you just got it like that. You want to stay at a Waldorf or even one of those resorts that aren't even on a points ecosystem. You can just redeem it that way, and then you can just still earn the points on the back end if you want to. Same thing with airlines. I think the only other card that is better that isn't a co-branded card for airlines is the American Express Platinum, which gets you 5x. Now, granted, we're talking Wells Fargo points versus MR points, but 5x MR points at $6.95 versus 4x Wells Fargo points once Wells Fargo gets their transfer bonus partner thing situated at $95 annual fee. Plus $50, you can use that 50, like if you put at least $50 on an airline purchase, which let's be honest, you can't even, like the fees on an airline ticket are going to be like $50 minimum for the most part. You're going to get a $50 statement credit, which now I'm not even going to use the term. So you can get $50 back credited to your account just for booking your flight with that card. And then on top of the other protections that people just, read the terms and services, Wells Fargo has a list of transfer partners that they're still figuring them out. But if you want to go the transfer partner route, you get a sign-up bonus of like 60,000 Wells Fargo points after spending, I think, 4,000 in 3 months, kind of your standard $95 annual fee sign-up bonus. You can redeem them for the transfer partners to get the outsized value, or you can just, book through the Wells Fargo portal, which is going to be like your standard travel portal. So it's a really good option. It's not my first option because Matt took it from us, but another pretty good option. It's actually a really good option if you don't want to deal with Citi and you don't want to just have the $95 initiation fee to use transfer partners from Chase.
Okay. Lonnie, I'm very interested in your second pick, I suppose, because Matt took your first.
Matt did definitely take my first, and I'm glad Tariq didn't take my second, or else I'd be talking about the Disney Premier Visa card.
Don't ever talk
right
about
now.
that card. Don't ever talk about that card.
Hey,
I was gonna go Starbucks card or something.
it's $49, and if you play it right, it's a 2% minimum catch all everything card. So it would have been able to answer, but I gotta go ahead and say it. I gotta do it. First travel card, United Mileage Plus Explorer card. I mean, sorry, Tariq, but I mean, if if you
There's a
can get
reason this card created some feelings.
I mean, I hate to use these words, but if you can get it,
there's a reason why I didn't say that card. That was actually going to be the card that I was going to say, but I felt like after the emotions that I displayed, I felt like Shamik Moore with his fellow Spider-Verse co-star. And I got rejected. I don't need to keep talking about it. I'm gonna be getting like a harassment charge from like a harassment call from Chase soon. So that's why I went autograph
Scott
journey.
Kirby.
Yeah, but anyway, it is probably one of the most powerful entry level, if you want to call it an entry level card, mid-tier travel card. Like, yes, it's a United card, but the thing is, if you actually look at it for its face value, the annual fee, the perks that you get, the stuff on the face, awesome. But then really pay attention to the earnings categories. So yeah, it earns a lot. It doesn't have a lot of bonus categories like, hey, travel, buy directly with United, all other purchases. But when you really get into all the ways that you can earn points with the card or just simply by holding it, you don't even have to use it. You can earn miles with it. It just keeps adding value upon value upon value and then redeeming. So RJ, you had said one of my other favorite lines earlier today, these points are worth nothing until you use them. The simple fact that no matter what type of way you define vacation and what type of vacation you want, you can pay for it with United miles. I can get to Machu Picchu with my United miles and a hotel and, the tour guide that's going to take us up the mountain or take the train car. I've looked it up. I can do all of it via United miles. I can use United miles more than I can use Chase points, even though, yes, I value my Chase points in certain ways way more. And this card is not just the entry card or the gateway card. It's the crack. It's the cocaine. It's the heroin. Like, it is up there if you know how to really use it. And so for $99 a year, first never gonna cancel video I've ever made was on this card for a reason. I have never canceled it. I'm never looking to cancel it. Yes, I just, flashed the United Club card up on screen, but that's another story for another day. My blue card is still active and in my hand, and we can't see your sheet anyway because it's blurry, so appreciate it.
Just say it. Just say it.
T-Pain? T-Pain? Buy you a drink? Do I need to buy you a drink?
Just pain. I knew it feels like it's just salt in the wound. I know I did it to myself, but it's just like, dang, man. Like, I watched your videos too many times on that card. God.
It's a beast. It is a overlooked, underrepresented beast of a travel card. Even if you don't fly United, you can still get value out of this card. So yeah,
And no
that's
annual
my
fee for
answer.
the first year.
And he added that.
He did.
Tariq.
So I'm gonna throw a curveball. Do I actually believe this is the best? Maybe, maybe not. But I want to throw a curveball in to the conversation. The venture rewards from Capital One. Now, before you all have an aneurysm, it's
I'm
basically the Venture X without the $300 credit and the 10,000 points a year, which is why the Venture X is $395 and the Venture is $95. 2x everything. It is 5x on hotels and rentals and vacations instead of 10x for certain things on the Venture X. I will give you that. But if you want to try Capital One as a partner, it's the same sign-up bonus, 75,000 bonus miles for 4,000 spend in 3 months. Same transfer partners, same 2x everything as a catch-all. If you want to try them before you go up to a $400 credit card a year, this is a great card to try, to get into the system, to see if it's going to work for you, to see if those transfer partners will work for you. And it's the same sign-up bonus as the big card. So it allows you to get, almost 80,000 miles off of the sign-up bonus. Same as you would with the Venture X, and it lets you play in that ecosystem. Again, do I think it is actually the best? Maybe, maybe not. But I do think it is a card that people don't talk about because the Venture X is the Venture X that should at least be considered. Honestly, my choice is the Choice Select card, but I do want to shout out the Venture card because I think if you don't want to spend $400 a year with a $300 credit, this is a really good option for you to not have to spend that. So I wanted to at least show it up, but the Choice card is better.
I feel
Choice
like
card is significantly
something.
better.
I feel like the omission of lounge access. I get it; it can be overhyped, but
I don't care about priority pass, so I don't rate it very highly. But that is a downside. You do get the TSA credit though.
Yeah, I mean you get the credits and all that, but I feel like a lot of reasons why people get the Venture X, not necessarily to dabble in Capital One's ecosystem for the transfer partners, which some people do, valid, and they go through all the avenues and loopholes, but it's a lot of it is just for like that low fee premium travel card where you're paying $395 and you're gonna get the credits to help get some value back from like what you're prepaying for. But yeah, like it's only 3 lounges plus the landing and national. I feel like a lot of people look at that and like, well, if I'm going to get priority pass, Plaza Premium, some of these other lounge access versus the Sapphire Reserve at $550 or the Platinum at $695, may as well go for the Venture X. Not completely discrediting like the Venture.
But if you don't fly, it's a very different metric, right? Like if you're road tripping more than you're flying, I think a lot of that breaks down with the Venture X, where the Venture would be a very nice card. Or if you're new to travel and you just want to try out a card that has transfer partners, I think because the sign-up bonus is the same, you get the TSA, you get the $50 credit. I think it's an overlooked card. Again, Choice is better, but that's not here or there.
Fair.
Can I just add one more thing?
Absolutely.
That if you get the Disney Premiere card, but you get the one with Darth Vader on it, it actually says Star Wars Premiere. Like, how cool is that? Let's just be real.
When are you going to apply for this card and make a video, Lani?
Absolutely never.
Yeah.
I feel like Lonnie's son is at like 18, not realizing that his dad, even though said everything up, down, left, right be a start about credit cards. He's going to see the Darth Vader card and he's going to apply for it. So that's how the Disney card is going to be in Lani's family.
I've already mentioned it in a previous show. Like, if they made a Stormtrooper card, I'm in. Take my money.
Chase is going to just start working on that new artwork.
Oh, all we need for $49 from Lani is just a Stormtrooper card? All right, cool. It's a terrible card, and you know it. All right, with that one. Now I feel less bad about stealing the IHG premiere from both of you. Anyway.
Tonight's a fun night.
Yes. RJ, the choice card was the card I thought you were going to say, and it was one of the cards that I had strongly considered, but interesting.
The choice card is an incredible credit card. Like, if you stay at any Ascend, Cambria, Radisson's, that card is fantastic.
Yeah. And also has TSA pre-check, also comes with very high choice status, also comes with cell phone protection, also comes with all these other lovely things for $95. It is a steal. Anyway, we're going to finish with my topic. My topic is which credit card or issuer, so you can pick a card or you can pick an issuer, has had the best year in 2024. Now, this can be based on like if the perception of the institution has changed, if the card's gotten some upgrades, if transfer partners were introduced, whatever you want to feel like. And let me just say up front, I am not picking Wells Fargo. RJ, which card or issuer has had the best year in 2024?
American Express Gold Card.
Interesting.
Because that, like, for 3 fucking months, that is the only card any of us talked about, is the American Express Gold Card. What was going to happen? What would change? What wouldn't change? Is this card good? Is this card bad? I'm canceling this card. Never cancel this card. Like, if press is a sign that people are paying attention to you, the American Express Gold Card is at the tippity top of the issuer credit card pile for 2024. No card, like Strata Premier tried, it's like a little bit lower on the totem pole. Like they tried real hard, but the American Express Gold Card, hands down, forget it, had the biggest 2024.
Okay. I'm actually really glad there wasn't a deluge of why I'm canceling my Amex Gold Card right after the update, or why I'm keeping my Amex Gold Card right after the update.
There was. It was just not on your algorithm on YouTube.
Oh, that's fair. I saw one video from one creator and I just went, nope. Yeah, that creator is not on this podcast. And I don't know if we'll ever see them on this podcast for reasons. Anyway, Lani, which card or issuer had the best year in 2024 in your estimation?
Man, yeah, I gotta quit going second, man, because as you said that, I was literally writing out MX Gold, and RJ just went off with it. just took off like the Concorde with that sucker.
I can't win,
But actually, I'll answer the other part, and then credit card issuer, and I'll give you that answer as well. But yeah, I just want to touch on the gold card real quick, because with all the hype, the controversy, how long the rumors about white gold, which actually looks good in my opinion, and the changes, and they didn't really lose anybody, you gotta give them credit for that. You gotta give them credit, because all that, as RJ was saying, all that hype, controversy, marketing, I bet Amex was just sitting back, just like, yo, let them ride. Just we're not dropping nothing. Let this ride, because it ended up working. And then even after you raise the annual fee, change the credits, and people are still like, it's not that bad. I'm sorry, you won. You win. Now, because that answer was already taken, and I'm not going to go too deep on it, card issuer that had the best 2024 is Chase. And the reason why it's Chase is because they didn't do too much to hurt themselves. We already talked about Built. We've talked about Amex. Like, I just, did the whole people's choice. I just want to see what people were thinking. And I'm not going to like give anything away because that's coming very soon. I'm about to close those ballots out this week. So I can actually compile the information so I can share it out. So I actually can also say like what people, to answer your question, like what the community that has participated with, how they would answer the question as well. But the simple fact of like, they didn't pull a Built. They didn't pull an Amex. They didn't pull a Capital One. Chase was just like, once again, just sitting back, just like, yo, let it ride. Just let it ride. And by doing nothing, they did the most, and it just worked out in their favor. Just 100% absolutely worked out in their favor. All they really had to do is be like, we're giving 90K on a ink. Or, we're going to give 300 travel credit to the CSP. Like, they didn't have to do anything, and people just flocked to them just because they didn't do anything. So I'm going to, give you my second answer as my official answer and say Chase was the best issuer that won 2024.
That's fair. I hear you. I absolutely understand. I kind of hate that answer. It's 100% true. But I hate that answer. Tariq, what card or issuer had the best 2024 in your opinion?
I'm just gonna start with what Lani's answer with Chase. It's basically Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. If you know, you know. But for me,
was that a Smash reference? Really?
Hey, you know what? I do more than just whine about not getting the Explorer and like obsess over sports. Okay. Anyway, you may not mention, or you weren't going to name Wells Fargo, but I'm going to do it on your behalf. I think Wells Fargo had the best 2024, and really it kind of started in 2023 because they had the cryptic kind of talking about transfer partners back, what was it, November? This was literally like a year ago. They announced the autograph journey, and it once again garnered the attention of the Sapphire Preferred comparisons. Is this the best $95 annual fee card? And then they had the Wells Fargo Signify that you got, that's 2x business card that had a good sign-up bonus. And not to mention the autograph journey autograph and the Signify, all the Wells Fargo points, you could just transfer literally just 1 point versus like 1,000 with Chase. And then the surprise, nobody expected it at all, a Tune card. Wells Fargo just kind of dropped it there. It was like Kendrick Lamar with GNX. They just did it. No one expected it. No one knew it was coming. And it just ended up being good. And people loved it. And I mean, you yourself, Matt, you've figured out all the ways it can earn 4x. And it's just the wild card, like, it's the card that fills in categories that you didn't even think about. So Wells Fargo just decided to lock in and do like the Aaron Rodgers retreat thing, but it actually has good outcomes and it actually did something versus being a bunch of hype and BS from the Jets quarterback. So Wells Fargo for the win in 2024.
Weird comparison to a 39-year-old absolutely cooked quarterback, but hey, I'll take it. No, there are definitely ways in which that could be argued. I'm glad somebody else argued it, just because coming from me, it would be hollow. Here's the card I'm going to go with. It is the Fidelity Visa card, the 2% unlimited cashback earning card. Now, why has this card had the best? Why has this card had the best 2024? The card eliminated its foreign transaction fee. And so now it is a 2% worldwide card. You always have this as a backup. This is a great card for that. You can cash out into your Fidelity account, so your money can compound. You can do what your money with you wish, um, as you wish. You can take it out, take that money, buy more points into your favorite ecosystem. You can roll it into an investment. You can roll it into SPACs. You can do whatever you want with it. And the card added TSA pre-check and global entry on a no annual fee card. So it became an instant international card and added TSA credit at the $120. How many no annual fee TSA pre-check credit cards are there? There's this one, and there's at least one other one that is escaping me at the moment, but
I think it's the PenFed Pathfinder, I want to say.
The
that sounds
other
right.
choice card too. The no annual fee choice, I believe, has TSA.
Ooh, very nice there. But yeah, this card just became like just became an international card to use wherever you need to. Great backup card. If you can get it. It's not particularly hard to get, and it's run by Elan, so like there may be US Bank issues down the line, but US Bank isn't touching it right now, and that's great because US Bank is touching a lot of things and breaking them needlessly. But no, to me, that card it has improved the most in 2024. I thought that the Chase Sapphire Reserve was one of the most improved cards in 2024. I know that to me, Wells Fargo is like one of the most improved issuers in 2024. But a card that gets you 2% on everything, no questions asked, has removed its foreign transaction fee and added a TSA global entry credit at the full $120 on no annual fee. Big winner to me. So yeah, I also just wanted to do something that wasn't me being like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Wells Fargo."
I was wrong about the choice card. The free one does not have TSA pre-check. Real-time follow-up for me being wrong.
That's fair. We can't want them all. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that card out there and just highlight again that card is super silently powerful. And if you want to get a credit card from an investment firm, get one from a legitimate investment firm.
Can I ask one follow-up question for you?
Sure.
Can you win 2024 if nobody is talking about you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm simply posing the question.
How many movies unexpectedly win something like people like movie of the year that nobody talks about? How many
I don't
albums
watch the
win album of the
Oscars.
year?
It's all rigged anyway, so.
That's fair. Yeah. I would say that you can win with nobody talking about you just because it's a card that shouldn't be overlooked.
That is fair. I simply was posing the question that I'm sure we will get in the comments.
No, that's fair. Guys, I just didn't want to name. I just didn't want to be the Wells Fargo stand. That's all. So yeah, that's going to do it for our topics, and that'll do it for this week's show. If you like what we do, hit the like and subscribe down below. Let us know in the comments any additional questions. Feel free to chime in with your own answers there. You can also use the podcast question answer. There's a section of the Discord for you to follow up on previous questions. Join our Discord. The link is always going to be in the description. And catch us on the podcatcher of your choice on Saturdays. Guys, is there anything else I'm missing? RJ, if we wanted to find you on the internet, where is the best place to find you?
Just go to the Stack Your Points Discord. Good Lord, I can't talk anymore. I'm there. More videos to come after the new year when my life goes back to normal.
Completely fair. Lani, best place to find you on the internet?
You can find me right here or right here on YouTube at Call Me Lani. All one word, and Lani is spelled Lani. I don't have any more jokes tonight. I think I've given Tariq enough. So
completely fair. Tariq, where is the best place to find you?
At my crib. as soon as I hit the bed because I'm tired as hell. And I gotta be up in like 5 hours. But aside from that, Reeks Rewards video within the next week or two. And then I got a busy December. Like girlfriend's birthday, mama's birthday, traveling for Christmas. Why the hell did I decide December was the day to post the month to post the video? But you know what? I'm gonna get the people what they want. They waited too long. Also, find me in the Stack Your Points Discord because I'm there.
There you go. And you can also find me in the Stack Your Points Discord, other Discords as well, talking about credit cards. And my channel is the Matt Clausen YouTube channel. I have been low on tidbits just because it is end of the year and there is virtually no news right now. There are no cards coming out for the rest of the year. It is a quick pivot to some opinion pieces. I'm trying to put them together and also balance life in the holidays. So yeah, but almost at 1,500 subscribers. So help me get over that hump. Lani recently passed 3,000. Perfect. All right. And yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys soon. We will see you next week.